So for the next 10 weeks, I'm gonna do Hugh Jackman's full Wolverine diet, exercise, and workout routine to see what effect it has on my own body. Let's go. Hi, my name is Brendan, and 5 years ago I took on a challenge that sort of changed my life. I wanted to see if I could take everything I could find online about Hugh Jackman's Wolverine diet and workout to see what changes I would take away from it. And what followed from that goal was really a 5-year journey for me into learning about nutrition, strength training, and how to focus a camera, because what am I even doing with this shot? Why did I think this was a good idea? Why? This is still the most watched video on our channel. For some reason. Anyway, after 5 years of training with many failures and setbacks along the way, I want to talk about the biggest mistakes I made, things that if I had only known starting out could have spared me a lot of wasted effort. And I should probably state up front, I recorded this before looking at my old footage, and maybe I could have included don't flail the weight around in an attempt to lift heavy. This is already way more embarrassing than I thought it would be. And I want to talk about some factors outside of exercise and nutrition that severely slowed down my progress and maybe having the same effect on you without you even recognizing it's a problem. Also, this video is sponsored by Copilot, a fitness and life coaching app that I'll talk about at a later point in this video. But starting this off with the biggest mistake I made in terms of training was trying to accomplish too much too fast. More specifically, this was the belief that if I just trained harder and made more drastic changes to my diet, I could expect to see transformative results in an even shorter period of time. Starting out as a new lifter, I was so eager to add size that I interpreted any increase on the scale as a sign my muscle gains were coming in. And why shouldn't they be? I was clean bulking with an ever-increasing calorie surplus and training as hard as I ever had at the gym, as shown here by this again out of focus shot. But while everyone's body is different, research has found new lifters eating a high-protein calorie surplus with progressive overload can gain between 1 to 2 pounds of muscle per month through their first year of training, with those results slowing down the more experienced you get. However, through my own eagerness to emulate song and dance ubermensch Hugh Jackman, I was gaining an average of 4 to 5 pounds every month, which meant even with a clean diet, my calorie surplus was so intense, my body was converting more and more of those extra calories into fat. Not only did this mean I was costing myself money on pounds of chicken breasts I didn't need, I would also have to go through a much longer cutting period to lean down after my bulk was complete. And again, I tried to speed up the process by doing more intense cardio workouts and dropping my calories, which inevitably caused me to lose a significant amount of muscle mass in addition to the fat, which sucked me into a miserable cycle of adding too much fat when I bulked and losing too much muscle when I cut. So I was barely making any real progress between these two cycles, despite all of the work I was putting in. In both instances, I was seeing the numbers on the scale rise and fall quickly and using it as proof that my hard work was paying off, which seems so ridiculous because when I look back at my day one photos, the concept of bulking or cutting shouldn't have even been in my head. Simply cleaning up my nutrition and training as hard as I did would have put me in a perfect spot to build muscle while losing the fat I had gained around my waist. And only then should I have really started to consider taking on a serious bulking goal. But if you are starting out and really want to pursue a clean bulk right out of the gate, I'd recommend only targeting an average weight gain of 2 to 3 pounds each month, taking measurements around your waist as part of your tracking to ensure you're not adding size there. Even snapping weekly progress photos, while not perfect, will give you some reference points as to where your body is adding size, so you can make adjustments so you are bulking with as much muscle gain as possible and as little fat. Mistake number 2, not having an accountability partner. Obviously, this is something that's not always going to be in your control, but when you're setting any type of goal, having accountability is one of the most effective ways to improve your chance of success. In fact, one study from the American Society of Training and Development found people working to achieve goals were 60% more likely to succeed after making a commitment to another person, and 95% more effective when they had ongoing check-ins with that same person. Having an accountability partner basically takes our psychological need for social approval and channels that desire directly at whatever goal you're pursuing. It's silly that even as an adult, I'm still motivating myself with the equivalent of getting a gold star from the teacher, but having that social incentive to follow through really does make the difference between skipping a workout once a week to catch up on Barry, or actually getting the workout done. And those small victories over time actually add up to significant improvements in your final results. For me, the biggest source of an accountability partner that I've used is the sponsor of this video, Copilot, And if you're rolling your eyes, I'm just going to genuinely talk about my experience with them and how it's affected my fitness. So about a year ago, I started working with Sean, who is my personal trainer through Copilot. I told him I wanted to take on a body recomposition goal, and he customized a daily workout plan, gave me advice on how to track my progress, and manage my nutrition. Every workout was tracked through my Apple Watch with timed rest breaks, and because Sean is a real person, I really do feel that accountability to follow through with the workouts on my end. And that is not the experience I've had with your typical fitness app, because your phone is an inanimate object that simply can't respond the same way.
What did you just say about me? You better watch how you speak on my name.
So all I'm trying to say is training with Sean has made me less likely to skip workouts and has motivated me to push myself harder through that last third of a workout when I'm the most likely to skip sets and slack off. If I'm having trouble with an exercise, I can record myself on my phone to get Sean's feedback on form, as well as how to internally cue the exercise to maximize muscle engagement. It's a huge reason why I was able to have the success I did when I took on my body recomposition goal, and why I haven't struggled with the same peaks and valleys I used to run into all the time. So if that is something you feel like you would benefit from in your own training, you can go to the link in our description to get a 14-day free trial with your own fitness and health coach. You'll get a free coaching session with one of Copilot's trainers and a complete workout plan, even if you decide not to keep the product. Again, check out the link in the description. And now, on to mistake number 3, focusing on short-term goals without long-term habits. Now, this point may seem a little hypocritical given the name of our channel. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm not trying to say short-term goals are bad. In fact, they're incredibly valuable for setting a target, giving yourself a timeline and a plan, but your success or failure is going to hinge on the daily habits you form and the adjustments you make as you progress. The mistake I would fall into so many times was gauging all of my success around my current goal, pushing myself as hard as I could train, denying myself any cravings to the point where when I finally hit my desired weight or goal, I would see my progress fall off as I switched focus to something else and slowly succumb to all of those cravings that I had been so fervently pushing down. And that's the last thing you want to do. Instead, recently I've started moving my focus away from aggressively pursuing short-term goals that can lead to burnout and increase the chance of fall off at the end. And I've started trying to focus more and more on maintaining the long-term habits that got me to those goals in the first place. And so far I have locked in 4 daily habits that I can reliably repeat each day. For breakfast, I have one of the same 3 meals that I know the calories for and I can prepare quickly. I go for a 30-minute walk after breakfast, block off time in the evening to work out, and do my best to give myself a 7 to 8 hour window for sleep. While I still try to stay on target with my nutrition through lunch and dinner, what I have going into each day are 4 habits that are so consistently a part of my day that they often just feel automatic. And finally, the last mistake, if you want to call this one a mistake, is not recognizing how your surrounding environment is affecting your health. Now, if you're working toward a goal of getting lean and trying to lose stubborn body fat, you're probably already aware of the amount of work and consistency that's going to be required. What you might not be aware of are all the invisible factors around you that can be impeding your progress and negatively impacting your health. I'm talking, of course, about 5G towers. I am not talking about 5G towers. Please do not report me to YouTube. Do not CC me in your email blast, Brenda. The factors I'm actually talking about are really simple things, like the length of your morning commute, how much noise pollution there is in your neighborhood, even how many fast food restaurants are within a mile of where you live. All of this has been found to cause weight gain and other health problems, and not to make this segment too much of a downer, but statistically these challenges tend to affect people who make less money. When I started making videos about my own health and fitness goals, I was employed full-time in the Toronto film and television industry, and it was, in many ways, a really cool job. But through all of that time, my daily work commute ranged from 75 minutes to well over 2 hours a day. Not only did this mean I was sedentary through this time, but driving through heavy traffic is often stressful. I would frequently snack through the drive as a way to pass time. And looking back, it wasn't a coincidence that most of my fat to fit goals tended to come immediately after I had wrapped a long show and was 10 pounds heavier than when I started. And regardless of how much weight I gained, the long commutes and heavy work hours were a major reason I decided to switch full-time work, and I have never made as much money since, and don't regret the decision even a little. Obviously, I'm not trying to suggest you switch careers or uproot where you live just so you can get shriggity shredded and take your gains to the next level, bro. But
Understanding what environmental factors may be affecting you and the goals you are working toward can help you form better plans to adjust, find strategies to cope, and maybe adjust your timeline if it looks like the goal weight you set for yourself may take longer than you expected. All of this is part of the process of training smart, making the right adjustments as you go, and learning from your mistakes. But if you can avoid some of the pitfalls I fell into starting out, you should be able to put yourself on a great track to see results and remain consistent as you go further. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like. Maybe let me know what mistakes you made when you were starting out in the comments. Thank you to Copilot for sponsoring this video. See you in the next one.